I had woken up to a sunny and bright day, thinking to start with a long walk on the Marine Drive. It being a Sunday, the idea seemed fine, and very soon I was on my way taking long strides along the seashore, enjoying the cool breeze from the Arabian Sea brushing past me. Little did I know that this day, the 25th of February 2012, was about changing my perception of life. As I reached the Gateway of India, my attention was caught by an unusual crowd of youngsters gathered there for a swimming event which was titled Swimathon 2012. I was excited to see so many children all geared up to participate in a swimming competition. But what caught my attention were a few kids who were physically challenged, and they were also getting ready to compete in the challenging event. I was taken aback and stood there, spellbound and wondering how these little angels would face the wrath of the deep sea waves. When one of the kids whispered to me, "Don't you worry, mister, we shall make it." I caught hold of his hand and asked his name. "Parth," he replied. And I thought I had met a hero first time in my life. "16-year Parth was born to Mrinal and Kishore Hindre with a pre-birth disability, spina bifida hydrocephalus, popularly known as the split spine. And unlike most people, his parents were fully aware of their son's disability much before he was born. They were fully prepared in their minds to deal with the situation as it came.
पार्थ का वजन तो अच्छे से बढ़ रहा था. When he was born, he was nearly 8.5 pound का था वो.
Parth was a healthy baby weighing 8.5 pounds, delivered exactly after 9 months of normal pregnancy.
Immediately after birth, 2 hours के भीतर ही उसको shift किया दूसरे hospital.
But within 2 hours of his birth, he had to be shifted to another hospital for an emergency spinal surgery. It was only the next day that he was shifted to a maternity room.
I was just 5 years old and I wasn't aware of anything except for he had some mark at the back. He underwent a surgery, that's it. So by the time he was 2 years old, I always kept wondering there's something wrong with him.
When he was 2 years old, his surgeon had recommended getting Parth to swim.
Parth started taking swimming lessons at Andheri Sports Complex under Satish Nimbalkar when he was 2 years. And as his swimming skills improved, he started taking advanced coaching from Raju Palkar. Today, Parth is a national swimmer with 25 medals, 30 state-level medals, and a national record holder in the Limca Book of Records. Excelling in studies, he scored 82.14% marks in high school, and he is pursuing second year from Mithibai College of Arts, Mumbai. Parth was fortunate to attract all the cooperation from his school, and the helping hands were always eager to help him out when he needed one. During his primary education, the school staff and his classmates always helped him with his school bags and would escort him around the school with profound passion. Parth happens to be my sister's son, and I'm proud of my nephew. Despite his many limitations, he has never fallen short of courage. I have never seen him getting nervous of any situation, and I've always seen him happy.
I'm planning to carry on my hobby as my passion in my life, and I want to be one of the best in my field. So currently I'm studying in standard 12, and my favorite subject is psychology, which I'm planning to carry on forward. And I would like to become a psychologist in future and specialize in sports psychology, which will help me, which I feel will help me in future to become a good sportsman. My ultimate goal is to become an Olympic level swimmer. So that is my objective in life, which I'm preparing to fulfill from now onwards.
I asked him about his perception of life, and Parth smiled back unblinking. I have learned that one should live his life to its fullest, that in spite of all ups and downs, life goes on. It is the greatest gift by Mother Nature, and everyone must value it. The return of Mumbai's premier open sea swimming race, the Square Off Mumbai Swimathon 2012, sunk rock to Gateway on February 25th, has been an eagerly anticipated event by swimmers across the country. Starting in 1947, this race was organized annually until the 26/11 terror attacks in Mumbai in 2008. Finally, after 4 years, the 5-kilometer race from Sun Rock Lighthouse to the Gateway of India had taken off, and nearly 500 swimmers were all set to embrace the deep ocean once again. I was admiring the contestants, wondering what had motivated them, when I came across Sagar, my next hero. 22-year-old Sagar Rajiv Barve was born in Aurangabad with congenial bilateral glaucoma and congenial bilateral profound sensor neural hearing loss. Kanchan, a speech therapist, and Rajiv Barve, a medical representative, was shocked to have discovered the major handicap within few days of their child's birth.
वो वैसे जन्म में भी प्रीमैच्योर बेबी है, 1 month वो प्रीमैच्योर पैदा हुआ है.
He was born 1 month before the due date as a premature baby, and when he was 3 days old we felt he had some problem with his eyes. We consulted our doctor, and to our shock, he told us that our baby had glaucoma in both the eyes, and if not operated within 6 months, he might become 100% blind forever.
After 6 months, he will be total blind.
Sagar underwent surgical procedures when he was just 3 months old, and with the timely intervention, doctors were able to restore 60% vision in one eye and 10% in the other. But the mental and the physical trauma that the little child went through resulted in multiple other disabilities later on.
And when he was 5 years old, I started a physiotherapy course in Nair Hospital, and I came across the opportunity to discuss with the doctors about any other possible deficiencies that Sagar might have. To our utmost shock, it was found that he had multiple problems. That is how we came about the full circle of his disabilities, deafness, sight, mental and physical trauma.
Sagar's parents never let these disabilities sink into their life. Instead, they admitted him in regular school so that Sagar could socialize with the normal students and prepare for the world outside. And Sagar did well by getting through the high school with 71% marks.
अभी इंडिया में ऐसे माना जाता है और माना ही जाता नहीं है, ये सच है कि स्विमिंग इज द बेस्ट एक्सरसाइज फॉर.
In India, swimming is considered as best exercise for the whole body. Moreover, another reason was that I and my husband are both good swimmers, so we did not have to look for a coach to get our son into swimming.
Sagar holds 7 national records, 5 state-level championships, 67 gold, 20 silver and 10 bronze medals. He is the first ever multiple disability swimmer to have crossed the 15.7 kilometer Strait of Gibraltar, and he happens to be the first Indian swimmer to have reached the finals in Melbourne Olympics. In his 17th year, Sagar completed the world's longest 81-kilometer swimming race from Jangirpur Barrage to Goira Bazar Ghat, Behrampur in West Bengal in 11 hours, 57 minutes and 14 seconds.
It took almost 18 months for Sagar to learn swimming, because the hearing and the sight are 2 most important tools for learning. And with these disabilities, it was difficult to get him into the self-confidence in doing whatever he wanted to do. It took a lot of patience and dedicated efforts to develop his confidence while venturing into anything new. He would simply give up saying, "Sorry, I cannot do it."
And in 2002, Dr. APJ Kalam, President of India, decided to call only few selected children from every state for the celebration of 14th November Children's Day. And Sagar was selected in that Maharashtra team only on one criteria, that for consecutive 7 years, Sagar was unbeaten to the state level competitions in any event, any distance. And he was felicitated on 14th November of 2002 with the auspicious hands of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And on top of it, around 300 children were called from different states to meet President, and Sagar was the only disabled person in that.
Sagar is in his 2nd year doing his BCA. He is ambitious about completing the English Channel with flying colours, and his never-ending dream of winning more and more international awards for his motherland continues as he struggles on leaving challenges way behind him. Unfortunately, swimming or any Olympic sport for that matter does not get due recognition and sponsorship in India. We have such an extraordinary pool of talent in our country which is untapped due to an insensitive system that continues to be reluctant in providing support to the sports aspirants. But thanks to a few individuals and organizations like Square Off, who came out in the open and provided a platform to the sports enthusiastic aspirants to grow and realize their dreams, especially the challenged ones who strive to come over their disabilities and often demonstrate exemplary achievements that surprise the normal human beings. So did my next hero, Sanket, whom I came across as the event was about concluding. Sanket Vijay Birud was born to Varsha and Vijay Birud on April 17, 1993, with a permanent blindness of 95% since his birth. But his parents never knew about the unfortunate disability until Sanket was 45 days old.
One morning after a massage, I left Sanket in the sun. I was shocked to notice that he was looking directly at the bright sun without blinking. I could not believe this. I lied down in the same place and tried looking at the sun, but my eyelids flipped to close instantly. But he kept on looking without a blink. I spoke to my sister-in-law who was visiting. She too thought it was weird. And it was then that we spoke to a specialist referred by our doctor. And after the tests, we came to know about the complete blindness of our baby.
And each one from his family and friends stepped forward, giving them full support, and thus took the challenge to provide whatever best was possible for Sanket.
Then I got him admitted into a nursery school where he always took a seat in one corner doing nothing except finishing his tiffin. But the teacher also observed that while Sanket could not see and was unable to write, he took keen interest in listening to stories. He could answer you, he knew counting and had learnt the alphabets, but the best thing that he liked was to tell tales.
Most of the time, formal education was in the form of storytelling. A keen lover in listening to stories, he quickly grasped the initial education received by him through stories.
तो जब खेलने जाता था तो एक उसे आइसोलेशन मिलता था फिर रात को
He always got into isolation when he went to play, and he always came back home crying, frustrated and complaining to us how other children never played with him.
मुझे रेफरी बना देता है. So one day I have also noticed that almost 1 hour this boy was struggling to play something and these children were harassing him and he was not allowed to even touch the ball. So then we realized that this is the only, swimming is the only activity where on his own he can really work, he can really excel and he can spend his energy in this particular activity.
Sanket learned the basic art of swimming from his grandfather when he had been to his native place during vacations. Getting admission in any pool in Mumbai to advance his skills was difficult due to his condition. But eventually, the Aquatic Research Club of Nayars came to his rescue, providing the facilities and training to Sanket.
And then after that there has not been no looking back, like Sanket then kept on excelling his targets and then he went for all state and then nationals and then even for sea swimming.
When I used to go for my coaching, that time my coach used to take me in the water. He used to come along with me and then he used to show me that suppose hold my hand and then see how I move it. He used to say that hold my hand, see how I move it, how the muscles move, how I push it back. That way I started seeing his movements, analyzing them, judging it to my potential, and then I used to try doing that.
Apart from swimming, Sanket recently completed a half marathon in Mumbai in 2 hours and 37 minutes. In academics too, Sanket completed his high school with a remarkable 87% and higher secondary with 77.32%.
One big drawback while sea swimming that whenever I am guided by someone, I lose my time. So timing, getting a timing sense in sea swimming is difficult.
Today, Sanket is doing his bachelor's in management studies from Mumbai, and he is very well versed with tabla, harmonium and guitar. And when asked what he wanted to do in his life, he smilingly replied, "Someday, I want to bring gold to my country and make my motherland proud." These 3 heroes of mine and many other equally challenged children are no common people. They are highly self-motivated human beings who, despite all the odds, have struggled not only to overcome their disabilities, but they have excelled far beyond all of us and emerged as winners and as my heroes. I salute all the challenged children of God with a prayer that one fine morning our society and the system will wake up, recognize and support the extraordinary talent and dedication with which my heroes have left all their shortcomings, disabilities, limited resource and multiple problems far behind them, and stand before us like shining stars to inspire us and the rest of the world.